Hello, I'm Sheila Alice, Interim State Superintendent at the Michigan Department of Education, and this is another edition of the Top 10 in 10 videos. On May 7th, the State Board of Education will be finalizing its choice for the next state superintendent. This means my role as Interim State Superintendent will be coming to a close. That being said, I would like to take this opportunity to share my reflection on what the past year has been like for me. Last year, when the late State Superintendent Brian Whiston asked me to take on the role of Interim Superintendent, I told him I didn't want to be the permanent superintendent, which was why he said I would be the perfect interim. And while I have enjoyed being the Interim State Superintendent, I've stayed true to my position of not wanting the job long term, which is why I didn't apply this spring for the State Superintendent position. Last May, the Michigan State Board of Education appointed me the Interim State Superintendent. I was, and still am, both honored and humbled to be in this position and to be the first woman in almost 200 years of state superintendents. I felt quite a sense of responsibility and expectation to follow Brian and be the first woman. As the Interim State Superintendent, I also felt the need to identify and share my priorities during the transition phase. My priorities have been only two. One, to provide continuity and stability in the department between Brian's passing and the appointment of the permanent state superintendent. And two, to maintain the momentum Superintendent Whiston started in making Michigan a top 10 education state in 10 years. To address both the stability and momentum, my focus has been on what I called my 8 C's. Continuity of direction, customer service, communication, collaboration, connecting, climate and culture, continuous improvement, and commitment. In my time as Interim State Superintendent, I've discovered a 9th C, challenges. As grateful and honored as I am to have the opportunity, it has come with its own unique set of challenges. When I jumped in, I soon learned there was a huge learning curve. The number of responsibilities a state superintendent has is immense. They include learning to work with the governor and state legislature, serving on multiple commissions, visiting schools and districts, which really is one of the most rewarding parts of the job, being the face and the voice of the Michigan Department of Education, and the acronyms. Oh yes, the acronyms in the department. It's like learning a foreign language. So the last 12 months have been an exciting and thrilling journey that I'm proud to have experienced. Part of that journey has included working with department leadership to develop and implement focused priorities to guide our work. As I've highlighted in previous videos, the department's 3 priorities are P8, or prenatal to age 8, whole child, and literacy. These 3 priorities were designed to sharpen our focus in the department, increase cross-agency work within the department, and explicitly link that work to Michigan's Top 10 in 10 strategic plan. I believe during my time as Interim State Superintendent, I've been able to provide stability within the department and encourage everyone, both inside and outside of the department, to maintain our efforts and continue the momentum started under Brian to make Michigan a top 10 education state. Maintaining that stability and continuity at the department level hopefully has lent itself to some stability and calm in our local districts too. MDE is excited about the talent of the finalists for state superintendent. We are developing a transition plan to ensure that she or he is in the best position to assume the role and continue the work to become a top 10 education state. The transition plan includes a comprehensive overview of the department, including the Top 10 in 10 strategic education plan, the department's action plan to support the implementation of the 3 priorities I just shared, details about the state budget process, organization charts, employee engagement feedback, partnership district work, and much, much more. Our goal is to have the transition plan completed within the next week so I can review it with the new superintendents once he or she is hired. Having said all of that, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the support from my incredible leadership team and dedicated staff at the department. Their tireless efforts and expertise helped to make the last year as interim state superintendent as rewarding and gratifying as any chapter in my 44-year career as an educator. When the Top 10 in 10 plan was adopted, then State Superintendent Brian Whiston's wish was to move forward with that plan and leave it alone for 10 years and let it work. As the current interim state superintendent, I vowed to stay committed to his vision of staying true to the Top 10 in 10 plan. As the State Board of Education fulfills its constitutional responsibility to select the next state superintendent, the candidates being interviewed have been asked how they will keep Michigan on its current Top 10 in 10 course. The best we can all hope for is that the next state superintendent and state legislature will embrace Brian Whiston's hope that we leave Michigan's Top 10 in 10 education plan alone and give it time to work for the sake of all of Michigan's children. Thank you to the State Board of Education for giving me this opportunity to lead the department during this time of transition. This has been an esteemed honor. I look forward to returning to my former position as Chief Deputy Superintendent to help support and guide the next state superintendent as we continue to move Michigan toward becoming a Top 10 in 10 education state. Thank you for viewing.